So guys, we are approaching the weekend, and like I say on the tile, I just want to state the fact that we do have a slight Bitcoin warning, and we want to make sure over the weekend that we are prepared for any move that basically comes. Now, ultimately, what we had yesterday was we had a small little fake out from Bitcoin. Ultimately, the altcoins looked incredibly bullish, and a lot of them still do. We do have Doge being positive for the day, ultimately still going up, possibly breaking a great wedge. So I want to speak about the Doge push. I want to speak about how Chainlink is still looking incredibly strong. We have DOT waking up at the moment, and we have many of the altcoins that have had great breakups over the last 24 and 48 hours, and therefore they are having some important retests at the moment. So altcoins are looking good and they're looking strong. But what we want to speak about now is we just want to speak about Bitcoin. Why is there so much selling pressure on Bitcoin at the moment? And is there maybe a pullback over the weekend that we're not prepared for? And how do we prepare for it? And what do we do with our current altcoin trades? If not looking at altcoins to buy right now, should we wait for slightly cheaper? Because they're also looking strong. Dominance hasn't been this much in our favor for a very long time. You could see how we've had big pushes to the downside. And ultimately, this is our moment to shine. This is where we've been wanting altcoins to come to life and do what we want. We just want to make sure that Big Daddy doesn't come with any of these surprises over the weekend. And therefore, I just want to make you guys aware of the slight Bitcoin warning and what we want to see to make sure that we still have a bullish Bitcoin, so we can still expect the massive move within altcoins. So we're going to go through all the different charts, all the different altcoins. If the bullish scenario plays out in Bitcoin, still holds support. It's still above support right now. Do you like my shirt? I'm bringing the vibes, guys. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. Yes, Bitcoin's still holding support. Yes, things are still very bullish. But ultimately, why is it struggling? Why is it struggling to get back above 30,000? Why are we struggling to hold? And therefore, maybe there is selling pressure, and maybe there is a cheeky wick to the downside. And I just want to make sure all of you guys are prepared for it. I want to make sure you guys have stop losses in play. And I want to make sure that you guys are ready for either cheaper altcoins, or you set your riskies in and you're ready for the upside. No more wasting time. It's going to be a big show. Let's get into it.
Click, click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click, click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click, click, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click, click. Enter the sniper.
So fam, happy Friday. I did think I would dress up for you guys. I actually had a really cool hat, but the problem is I have a green screen. So if I put the hat on, it takes away the green part. But look at it. I was going to get all nice and rasta for you guys and just bring up the vibes. Yes, guys, slightly bearish tile. And I'm probably, I know what you're thinking. Like, why? We're bullish the whole week, bullish in altcoins. Why the bearish tile? Because I want to speak about Bitcoin. I want to speak about Bitcoin and where we're at with Bitcoin at the moment. Because like I said, it hasn't been this long of a time where we've had the dominance in our favor. And we've had really strong altcoins. And we just want to know, is there another pullback from Bitcoin, before another alt rally? I think that's the big thing. We've had some good gains. We've had some fantastic calls. And a lot of us are probably itching right now to buy more altcoins. And we just want to know, should we wait? Like, how big will the Bitcoin dip be if that does happen? And how do we prepare for it? So guys, ultimately, I am bullish right now. I'm bullish on Doge. I'm bullish on many altcoins. But end of the day, I am going to always respect Bitcoin and make sure that you guys are aware of the Bitcoin warnings right now. Because for me, it's like we've had a good amount of FUD within the market. We've had a good amount of great fundamentals driving Bitcoin. But right now, there is some sort of selling pressure at 30,000. And ultimately, it was support for at least a few days. And now we're sitting just below it. And every time we get there, there's some sort of selling. And what I'm worried about this floor. I'm worried about this floor that we have, that we've tested many times, which we know is an incredible support zone at the moment. But why are we testing it so many times? And ultimately, will we hold it? And that's one thing we got to be aware of, that if we don't hold it, there is a big gap. And there is a possibility of maybe a liquidation hunt or something to come into play. And end of the day, it doesn't matter how much we love altcoins. If something like this does happen on Bitcoin, it may mean there is a wick on altcoins too. Because the big concern, and the only reason why I'm bringing up this topic and this tile, is we had this dominant spike to the downside. So let's actually start the show off straight away, and let's speak about this quickly for a second. So what we obviously had was the big push down. And what it has started on the shorter time frame or the medium time frame, it started a little bit of an altcoin awakening. We started a little bit of a popcorn effect. You know, we're starting to get some altcoins show some life. The fact we're seeing DOT wake up. Hopefully Doge is still going to have a strong rally over the weekend. If Bitcoin holds support, I think it's gonna. We obviously had a Chainlink explosion. We have Solana. We're going to speak about why Solana is at 25. You know, what's happening there is a bit of selling pressure on Solana at the moment. What should we be doing? Wayne, what's up, bro? I hope you're back with the family. Wayne was with us over here in Cape Town, spending time with us. Wayne and his daughter. So shout out to you guys. Hope you're home safe. Appreciate you guys coming through. And like I was saying, the reason why I'm just having a slight concern is if Bitcoin loses that support, I just want to know two options. One of two options. Either dominance is going to continue down. Therefore, the alts are still going to hold strong. Yes, they'll pull with Bitcoin, but they won't get absolutely obliterated of what we've seen before, right? Because we've seen days where Bitcoin can go down 10%. And if this play does happen over here, you're basically looking at a scenario of maybe Bitcoin coming down. And let's just have a look over here in the regions of about 8 to 10%. And therefore, we want to know if that happens, is this a 5 to 8% or 10% on altcoins? Or is this one of those days where altcoins come down 25%? How would that happen? And that would come down to this dominance over here. Because what you basically have now at the moment is on a shorter time frame, you do have the dominance oversold. And what that basically means is it means that higher time frame RSIs in the dominance are getting down to the bottom. And it's basically indicating at some point you're going to have a little push up in dominance, even though we have lost some ground. So the way you want to basically put the picture in over here is this is still bearish in my opinion. It's still in favor of the altcoins. But what you could look at is at some point over here, a little push to the upside, and then another altcoin rally. And I think the big question is over here, is this little bounce that could come at any moment from dominance, is this a Bitcoin bounce or is this a Bitcoin dump? Okay. Now, if it is a Bitcoin dump, yes, I know it sounds, another dump from Bitcoin. It does mean a possible 5, 10% down within altcoins. But what it means after that is a mega altcoin pump. So either way, you know, if we do decide to have the dump off just before, and it does end up taking a little bit of effect within altcoins, it does show that the bounce will be really big from the altcoins after that. And therefore, you want to focus on the buys slightly lower. Or you have the second opinion. The second opinion is Bitcoin actually bounces, and it bounces really hard. Now, let's go back into Bitcoin and see what would a hard bounce be. Now, if you look at the 8-hour and the 4-hour, yesterday was a very important top. And this now is very clear on the shorter time frames that this is a certain sort of resistance at the moment. You could see there's literally been 1 or 2 major touches at this $30,400 level. That's now resistance. So therefore, if we do have a bounce over here, it is very important that we get through that level first. We get through that level of 34,400, means on the small, medium time frames, we're starting to make a little bit of higher highs. And ultimately, you want to see something like this and then something to push up. Now, if that had to play out within the dominance, this could possibly be really good. Now, what that would basically mean is it does mean a few days of sunshine back at Bitcoin. But if it's a bullish Bitcoin, that might give it the power that it needs to finally get through these areas. Because what happens now is the last few times we had Bitcoin rally to these zones, we actually had dominance going up. Therefore, you had the backing, you had the money not focused on the altcoins and fully focused on Bitcoin when it got there. Now the issue is that you have focus on altcoins. So what it's actually starting to do is it's starting to actually slow down Bitcoin, because whenever Bitcoin gets bullish, you actually have money diversified and flying into altcoins. Therefore, is it giving Bitcoin enough power to get through probably the most critical level for Bitcoin, which is this major area on the weekly, and it is the zones of what I like to determine bull and bear season, this major area over here. And we know, guys, we've spoken about this many times. Why is it such a big area? Because this is the area that determines that there's still maybe a lower $20,000 Bitcoin, or from here we go to $40,000. That's how critical this area is over here. So why I think maybe that on the shorter time frames, that if we have a Bitcoin bounce and we actually have the dominance go up, like I said over here, this may actually give the strength for Bitcoin to finally get through that $32,000 level. And if we can get through the $32,000 level, and in this time actually rally Bitcoin to the region of 35,000, then after that, you will see Bitcoin slow down in those areas, maybe a small pullback to turn that 32 into support, but then you'll see an absolute huge altcoin eruption after that. And that might be when Ethereum enters the party, and Ethereum can come in and then start to really turn down. So if you start to stay focused at where we're at now, yes, they may both sound scary, but for me, you have two options. You either have a huge opportunity right now by getting in on a Bitcoin pump and ultimately being a little bit earlier in within the altcoins, or you do manage to get the altcoins another 10-15% cheaper, which means the ones that you missed the major pumps on, like XRP, like many of these tokens that move, Chainlink, there might be entries available for you. So you got to look at them both as a win-win scenario, but you do have to be prepared, because if you end up buying here and worst scenario plays out, you need to ride out to 10-15%. On any leverage trades, you're going to get smashed. And that's why I know there's a lot of guys short-term leverage trading here. And that's why this tally is here for you guys today, to make sure that you don't get liquidated over the weekend by not focusing and making sure that you do know both scenarios that need to basically play out. So for me, if we can have the play, let me just go back in here, just get this back in, where we can have this strong push over here, I would prefer the scenario of a Bitcoin push to the upside, get that dominance up, and then have that strong push down. But again, I want to excite you guys, because this dominance over here is definitely for me on a downtrend. And the only way that it's going to prove me wrong is if it breaks this trend all the way up here. So this is literally in a downside. And at any moment, I do expect dominance to come down to the 48%, if not lose that major area and possibly even bring dominance down to 44%. So guys, all the time we've been waiting for altcoins, this is definitely a strong point for us to get that altcoin catch up and to get ahead within the market. So the way I would play it for the weekend, let's go straight back into Bitcoin, and then we can jump into a lot of altcoins. I know we got Dill here that wants to speak many different altcoins. Okay, so you want to make sure that on your 4-hour, 8-hour charts, that again, you have these major areas locked out. It's these lows, guys. It's these lows of the 29,500. This is the major support now. You can see we got a wick, slightly higher wick over here, a wick. This is many times, but we are hitting that wall. And like I say, you got two options that are happening here. Either they are loading up, whoever they may be, doesn't matter, but someone is holding this level. They're buying every dip of Bitcoin that's here. Or what it's doing is it's eating away the wall. And slowly what's happening is you're going to eventually start losing liquidity of buying power at this level. And if you lose it, you will see that there isn't much buying over here. Okay. Now there is one scenario where they catch the bulls. Okay. Well, one more scenario, which I'll add to here, is maybe they do send a wick. They send a quick wick over here. Now, why would they do that? They send a wick, they send price straight back in over here, and they start to move it. I just want to explain this, guys. Very important. Yes, we have Sniper School. Let's actually plug Sniper School right now. We have Sniper School starting cohort 7. We're starting next week, live events. Go below and smash that registration button. Right now, you can get it for free. You open an exchange account using any one of the Sniper School exchange links. You'll actually get it in the email when you click the registration button. Put in $100 that you get to trade, and you prove that you used one of our exchange links and come join Sniper School. Okay. Now, why would they do this? It's because they know any single person that is longing Bitcoin right now, anyone that's longing Bitcoin right now is longing over here. They are literally buying at 29,500. Therefore, they know that there's this big gap over here. So every single one of them will be putting their stop losses just below these areas. So for me, it's like, okay, either we have two here. Either they are going to send this cheeky wick down. And for me, if it comes down and we hold the 29 and we literally bounce, you will see the candle, guys. You will see the candle where it will come down. It will come down and it get bought up really quickly. And on the 1 hour or the 4 hour, you will see a pin bar candle. When you have this long pin, you will see that that was very clearly a quick hunt. It will hit all the stop losses and it will come back in very quickly. Then you know that this is in play. And what we're waiting for is we're just waiting for some real buy volume. Because they're buying every dip, but they're not sending it, which means are they preparing? Because look at this volume over here. You could see the volume spikes that were happening a few days back, but you're not getting the major volume spikes that are happening at the moment. But what I do know I do know that this next move is going to come very quickly. Either the bounce or this cheeky wick or anything is going to happen fast. And the reason why I'm saying it is I think there's a few more days, and I think it happens over this weekend, is if you have a look over here, guys, these RSIs are tapped out now. Yes, they can drag a little bit longer at the bottom, but guys, this daily RSI, they never lie. These RSIs never lie when you're getting to a certain area. And what tends to happen is when the RSI starts to get to this area is usually when the action actually happens. Okay, is when it's already in this area. But what it's saying is it's saying any moment a quick move is going to happen. And therefore, after that, there is going to be buying power. So again, if they send this wick and we hold 29 and it gets bought up really quickly, and you have this RSI turn up over here, that's the volume we need. Because right now we don't have any crazy buying volume that's happening at the moment. But if I do draw a trend line, let's actually get a trend line in play over here, is it is showing that in the next few days. So remember, you can draw a trend line over volume. It is showing the next few days we are going to have a big volume spike. It is coming at any moment. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, but at any single moment, there will be a volume spike. And therefore, if we do hold any of these major supports, still expect a lot of bullishness. So second option or third option now, third option is now we start to close below. Okay, all of a sudden you start to close, you get a daily close over today, tomorrow, we start to close below the $29,500 level. Then what's very likely is if it loses this support here, which is the 29,500, you're going to start to see a very quick acceleration. Now, guys, I don't think this is a dump that happens over days. I think it's a very quick one if it happens. I think it literally comes down and you see a very fast wick that can come down to 28,000, if not the $27,000 area. Therefore, what I am doing personally is on any important cash, I will have some stop losses in this area. But secondly, I will have some limit orders setting for this play at any single moment. And then what will happen is, let's say a day or two passes by and we don't get that wick and all of a sudden Bitcoin breaks this trend, I will then be canceling out my limit orders here and I'll be buying break off trends. So what this means, and this is what I want to explain to you guys again, is if you've entered crypto, you've entered a place where you can make money and you can ride the volatility, but at the end of the day, you are the boss. And I'm going to need you to work a little bit this weekend. I'm going to need you to prepare that if there is the dip, to take advantage of the major support buys, or they don't even dip it off and it breaks and you have to go cancel those limit orders and you got to get the breakout buys. Yes, it's a little bit of weak work for you this weekend. But ultimately, again, would you guys have been happy of getting that the entries of Chainlink at $5 to $6? You would have loved it, right? And you're going to start to learn the power of working your ass off for one entry and then being able to sit back and allow that entry to make you a lot of money. So looking at this now, you do have the three plays. Now, I want to speak about the non-bearish scenario. From here, again, we're holding support. So from here, yesterday we had that cheeky little fake out. It actually happened just after the show. We faked out a little bit of this trend line. We broke out. We fake strapped back in. Amazing. But this trend line for me is still valid. Okay, this was a simple hit. Anyone that bought the breakouts there, they would have got smashed. They would have panicked out at this moment over here. So for me, again, it's manipulation within the market. But this for me is still a valid trend. So again, at any moment, if I see now Bitcoin starts to turn up and we start to get 4-hour, 8-hour closes above the 30,000, again, for me, this does mean the possibility of this upside on BART. Why it's struggling right now is because we're not getting past this little resistance. So let me take the trend line, the horizontal line, sorry. You see this little high over here. That's where it's struggling to get past. And every time we get there, that's where offloading is happening. Okay, but if we do get through there, and it will start off with the indication of this trend line over here, and we get through here, you're going to see a Bart Simpson, where automatically anyone that's shorting, because there's definitely shorting or selling off happening here, their stop losses are sitting here, and therefore price will increase really fast over here. So you want to get the first warning sign to be like, okay, we're breaking trend. That's first warning sign. Maybe start dipping my toes and put my stop loss under the previous low. Then what you want to do is you want to use this period over here to build your position. So any little flags that are being built along here and we break into the upside is your adding. And by the time you get through this area over here, you're going to see we're either going to break the trend line to the bottom, therefore start TPing or start prepping yourself, upping the stops, or we break the top and make sure your position is fully in. But right now, as things stand, Bitcoin is still sitting in this crazy range. And the only thing that I'm worried about is the amount of times we're hitting the floor. But if the bulls still remain strong, this should make its way back up to the high areas. So we're still bullish, guys. We're still definitely bullish, but you do need to be concerned that there is a little bit of concern within Bitcoin and why there's too much selling pressure. Then let's go quickly through some of the altcoins. I'm not going to go too long. So we're having a little bit of weakness at the moment within Ethereum. You can see over here, we're literally having all of these wicks. Let me actually just get this original trend line in play. I see that my trends move. There we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touches. And now we have Ethereum sitting right on support again. And what you can see just below that is you can see a gap, guys. And this is what I want you guys just to be prepared of. That this is where Ethereum should bounce and make its way to $2,000. But there is a scenario that if Bitcoin plays out the 𝗏𝗡, that it does have these gaps. And it's got the gap areas of back to 1800. And there's even a gap area that can take it back to the 1700 area level. Guys, I still think that if you can get anywhere of Ethereum buys around 1800, I think you're quite lucky on the shorter time frame, to be honest, because I do think the market's still bullish. But I would be very happy if I could get it cheaper than where it is at the moment as things stand. So be prepared for that. And I would probably have some limit order set there, because you know if there's any dump that comes quickly at any single moment, it happens very quickly. And sometimes you don't have time to actually figure it out as it's happening. So go make your mind, maybe go put up a few limit orders if you have not bought enough ETH or you want to be buying more Ethereum at any moment. But until then, let's see if we hold the support trend. I will only be doing a show again on Monday, guys, as I am shooting a Chosen Ones weekend this weekend. Therefore, that's why I'm wearing my fantastic shirt over here, just celebrating and bringing vibes. Very important. I actually got more, guys. But they're green, man. They're green with the green screen. So you're not able to see them. Now let's quickly speak about altcoins. So let's go into Chainlink over here. So I said yesterday, guys, don't be afraid to TP on some Chainlink, okay? Because you're able to buy back if it turns really bullish. But right now it is at resistance. So just be aware it's at resistance. And if there is a Bitcoin pullback, it might even come all the way back down to the bottom range. So don't be afraid. And then for those who want to buy Chainlink, okay, you have two major areas. The way I would basically do it is I'd probably look at taking the fib from the top to the bottom, and it's basically indicating around 6.5. So it is showing that if the 𝗏𝗡 plays out, you can have Chainlink drop to these major areas over here. So I'm just explaining to you guys the risk. Remember, I come with a bull, and I'll be bull all the way, guys. But I'm going to explain to you that if things go south over here, this is more or less what could happen to a lot of the altcoins. And you could have Chainlink come back over here. This will be your buys, and then it will tempt the major range at any single moment, okay? So this is if the bear plays out. And what that basically means within any of your altcoins at the moment, you know, you're looking at a 15, 20% drop within Chainlink. And that means dominance up, but Bitcoin comes down, and I would be just a bit more patient. So this is for the guys that already had Chainlink. I wouldn't be afraid to TP, no financial advice, but I wouldn't be afraid to TP any of my Chainlink now at these areas over here, because you either have this option over here, and if this plays out, you get 20 to 30% more Chainlink on your next buy, which is always a big bonus. But then the second scenario is you do have the big explosion from Chainlink. And therefore, you know it's finally out of this 2-year range. It comes back, it retests, and you'll buy back straight back in from where you got out at this major area. So these are all huge techniques you're going to use in a bull market, guys. Huge. Because think about it now. If you very greedy right now, and you're saying, no, Chainlink's just going to go. What happens if this plays out? Don't be afraid to get out of resistance, because you can buy it back as support. And this is a very important strategy to use. Learn on this coin right now, because you're going to see many of them play out within the bull market. And you got to know to not be afraid to take profit, because you can buy straight back on a support buy. But that realistically, if the market goes bearish now, that's realistically of how big the drop could be for Chainlink. And if you're okay with that, amazing. If you're not okay with that, take action. Have a look. Maybe jump in now and put a nice little flag, because I'm sure it's forming a little 1-hour flag. Let's actually have a look. There we go. You can see the support. Right now for Chainlink, $8 is the support. Any 1-hour closes below that, it might be starting the pullback. So you can start to make those decisions at the moment. Like I say, bullish scenario will explode straight through and will start to move. But it's good to see Chainlink. If we can have Chainlink break that range, I think this is a great indicator for altcoins. Reason being is Chainlink was a very big leading altcoin in the last bull market. It was one of the first ones that actually went really, really, really hard. And therefore, after that, this may be a great sign that it's not just narratives anymore. We're actually going to have the whole altcoin market wake up at any moment. So go Chainlink. I really hope you do continue the move. Then let's jump into, let's actually speak about Solana. Solana is the important one to chat about because yesterday started to show some bullishness. I think we got up to the regions of $27 and then a little bit of strong rejection again. So I want to pay attention over here. Right now, as it stands, this should be great buys for Solana. This is the bullish scenario. This is if Bitcoin holds support. This should be the area for Sol. This really should be, because reason being is we never got past this range for a very long time. You can see over here. It's been a while since we've been through it. And ultimately, we finally cracked through that wall. Therefore, we want to see that Solana, not only did it look bullish last week, that it's starting to look bullish over the next few months. We want the climb back for Solana back to $100. That's what we want. And in order to do that, we need to see that this coin still remains strong and holds strong within the red days too. So therefore, any of these major levels that it couldn't get through for a long period of time, and we finally got through them, you want to hold them as a base. You want them to hold this area over here. And from here, you want it to go and chase the next targets to the upside, which I still think Solana is going to $40. But now there is the next concern, and I want to put in the warning. The warning is that if all of a sudden on the 8 hour, you can see this trend line I've put in, and this is basically just tracking the momentum. And the reason being is if I had to mark the horizontals right now on Solana, these are the ones. You got this one over here. Then if I take out the next horizontal, so let's go put in over here. Where's the next ones? Is over here. There we go. Okay, so guys, me holding Solana, we got it at $20, and I think we can hold that strong. I really do. But anyone that wants to buy right now, I would pay attention to these two things over here. Firstly, you got this trend line, which I'll put in now for you guys so you can see it properly. Let me just make sure you can see it. So you see all these little wicks over here. Put a trend line in there. Okay, any closes above that, amazing. Make sure you're in your position. Okay, I would possibly enter 30 to 50% in these areas, but I would have a slight stop loss around 24.20. Okay, and the only reason being is because of this gap over here. There is a possibility that if that bar plays out, Solana may come back to $20, if not $21 area. And that for me would be an insane buy. Okay, that would be a really good buy area to play in. So guys, end of the day, I still think that this is the Solana breakout. I still think this is the final time that Solana does go to $40. It's just about some people miss the buys or some people want to add to their positions. So the two areas I would add is I would add now at 25 to 26. I've been speaking about this for the last few days. And the second area is I would save a little bit of cash for worst scenario or bad scenario to play out at around 20 to 21. Remember, you want to try buy this entry that hopefully Solana goes back to $100. And you got that great entry that you can ride it out throughout the bull market. If not, Solana breaking all-time high. Wouldn't that be absolutely incredible? So that's what I think the importance of these two buys are. They could be your bull run buys for Solana. And that's really what I think, because we know if Solana gets going at any moment now, you're going to try catch it and it's just going to be gone. And that's a big thing to focus on. The next one as well is MATIC. So again, this is the area for MATIC. It's now made the higher high. It's made the retest right now. This must be the area for MATIC. If it's not this area, Dole spoke about it the other day, that there is areas of MATIC coming down to 65, if not the 60 cent mark. So guys, again, I know I come out and I'm incredibly, yes, I'm bullish, but I am going to start giving you guys definitely both scenarios that if there is a bearish scenario, we may come here. Doesn't mean we're not bullish anymore. I still think we're incredibly bullish from that level, but be prepared, especially on any leverage or short-term trades, if this does come into play at any moment. And this would be the ultimate zones. So here, again, if I got $1,000, I want to buy MATIC right now, I'm probably buying $400 to $500 right now with a stop loss at 72 cents. And then the rest of mine is sitting at limit orders until I am sure we can, you know how it works in trading is your first buy is your most important buy. So your 50% that you buy in the beginning is the most important buy, because after that, you can always take your other small percentages and you can add them on. As it's making bull flags, you can add them. But your first buy is a very important buy. That's why I won't miss the buy over here. I'll make sure I got some sort of buy, because if it goes lower, yes, I will stop, and I still have a lot of my money to get in at cheaper, no problem. But if it goes bull, at least half of my money is in, and on any flags up here, I can add the rest in, and I'm still averaging a good entry price. So over here, MATIC still looks bull. We just got to pay attention within Bitcoin. Then the coin that's looking strong, guys, is DogeCoin. DogeCoin is still looking strong. It's still looking really good right now, and it actually bounced really nicely. You know, we had Bitcoin still sitting at the same areas of last night, and we were sitting around 69 cents. I was watching it, and now we slowly climbing up. So if you have a look here, we got this little wedge forming over here. And you basically got the previous high that it went to, I think last week, Friday, a week ago, it went to 7.5 cents. And then we had this wick 2 days ago at 7.338. Okay. Now, if this basically goes through here, it looks strong, guys. I'm not going to lie. It does look really strong. If this happens, like I say, I think it's a slow climb to 80 cents. And I think from 80 to 8 cents, sorry, to 10 cents is very fast. So these are the two areas I want to make sure I'm in this area over here, before this little spike here, and definitely before that spike to the upside. So for me, these are still the entries for Dogecoin to ride to 10 cents as my minimal target. Where are my supports? Where are my stop losses? You see this trend at the bottom over here. It's indicating a stop loss should be around 6.5 to 6.6 cents. So you are running around a 10% stop, but hey, you are looking at a 30, 50 to 100% reward. So the reward is a lot higher, and we can definitely see today Doge is looking powerful. Now, again, if Doge does go up, this will bring some retail into the market and hopefully continue that move down in dominance. Guys, I am hoping that this doesn't happen in dominance. I'm hoping that this just happens. That would be best scenario. Just collapses through, but I would like this to be on a Bitcoin pump. I want it to be on a Bitcoin pump. I don't want a dump to come in Bitcoin and the altcoins just hold better. Like, we want gains to the upside. That's exactly what we want at any moment. So Doge, guys, still one of my best plays, and I'm still holding a $97,000 Doge position. I'm hoping to make this a lot bigger, but this is still my position within Doge at the moment. And you can see I'm not trading too many altcoins. I'm more or less moving because I nailed the Solana entry a few days back. And I took profits on it, and therefore I moved it to Doge. Here we go, guys. Cardano. Here's the buy. There's your stop. If it doesn't happen now, we're getting Cardano down here. Like, very simple. Okay. So again, 50% here. Best scenario, I add in my positions later, my little bit of extra money. Worst scenario is my 50 gets stopped out, which won't be as bad, guys. Have you ever been stopped out and it sucks because your whole portfolio or your whole amount is in? Have you ever been stopped out on 30% of your entry? It's actually not so bad. It's not so bad. Like, the loss is a lot less than what you think. And that's why you want to enter a certain percentage here. If it gets stopped, no problem. You got the rest of your money. You get in more. You took a very minimal loss. No problem. But worst scenario is, or best scenario is, all of a sudden this explodes. And at least you got something in. Therefore, as it makes another flag and starts to break, you can add the rest of your position in. And at least your average buy will still be in this area over here. Don't mess up your entries. Very, very, very important to focus on. Let's quickly speak about DOT and GRT. They look very good. Okay, guys, pay attention to DOT. You know, DOT's looking good on the last 24 to 36 hours. Amazing. But it might look really good on the daily. So look at this. So you want to pay attention to the daily close on DOT today. Because DOT, guys, it got destroyed in the bear market. But for me, like, this was still one of my favorite tokens in the bull market. And I still think they got a future. Like, who knows? You know, the chart's saying that there can be a big move here soon. And who knows? We may get some great fundamental news from DOT itself, from Polkadot. So if you look over here, you can see we're starting to peek our head through this trend line over here. And it basically says around 5.6. If we have a 5.6 close daily, this can be a daily breakout, which means you can activate your DOT buys. Okay, which means you will put your stop loss just under the previous low, and therefore you'll see this as your first target is $8, and my second target is $10. So this could be big moves within DOT, and to get it back to these levels, you got to remember that if you take the same chart, okay, Sol is here right now. That's where Sol is. Sol is in that area. So therefore, a lot of altcoins that we're showing, this is a very similar pattern to Solana. This could be the move that really starts to move out. So again, as long as, you know, it's crazy, guys. Even if Bitcoin goes bearish right now, right? Let's say it goes to 27, but that dominance continues to tank. You know, you're still going to get some bullish altcoins. So focus on the altcoins that are breaking the major areas. Very important. So DOT was one of them. Another one that I saw that was coming to life yesterday, and it's on support now, is I still think there's a GRT explosion. I really do. Now, if the market goes bearish, it's going to suck. It's going to come all the way down here. It really is. But that's why your stops are so tight right now. You got a 2-3% stop loss, okay? Right under these lows. But bull scenario, we're right on resistance now. Is this thing rampages up to 15, if not 18 cents? So massive gains to the upside over here. So if it comes to a normal risk to reward, you know, it's a great risk to reward, because if I come here and I put my little long tool, guys, are you enjoying me like going through? Remember, there's so many tokens, I can go through all of them, but the goal is for me to give you all the tools and for you to take those tools and to put these tools on your charts, go put them on your coins. This is why I do it for you, and I chart it for you guys, and why I even give you sniper school. Like, I give you all this stuff because I want you to fish. Very important. So if I don't go through all the tokens that you want to, I think next week we're going to have some live trading sessions, so we can sit and we can spend 2-3 hours together, and I'll go through all of the altcoins for you guys, no problem. But on these shows like this, I'm going to give you structures and strategies, and you need to take them and implement them on your charts. Very important for you to learn the skill, guys. But look at this. Here's the trend line now. My stop loss right under the low, which means it's 2%. And if I look at my shorter term take profits, that's a risk to rate of 1 to 12. Like GRT, amazing. Looks fantastic. Let's look at Phantom. Outside of that trend. So let's go have a look. Let's actually bring Dol on here. Dol. Dol. What's up, bro?
How are you, bro?
Good.
Sorry, falling asleep there. I was ready with all these altcoins. But yeah, enjoying the show.
Amazing, bro.
I like what you're saying. I like what you're saying about BTC. So just on your point about BTC with a little fake out, I love that. I love that idea. You know,
the little wick.
There's a little 382 fib sitting here. And it would make a hell of a lot of sense to sort of trick us and just wick us back up there.
It's kind of what I feel what's going to happen, because they're going to think we're going to go to 27 and they might wick us.
Yeah. So I love that idea, and it's definitely something I'm playing with. And then your points on the alts. Look, we've had some great support buys, guys. We've done really well. Even though BTC is looking bearish, we've had these alts bouncing off these support areas for the whole week. So, you know, we've done well. Theta, DOT, Link, NEAR, all these tokens. But now we're seeing a little bit of like, you know, some bearish signs here. We got some double tops here on Theta after a great move. Might be a sign that it wants to pull back a little bit. We had a double top on NEAR, pulling back a little bit. We've seen DOT really pushing, but double top, okay? Like you've just shown us, possible retracement. But again, we look at areas of support. We can't be too bearish on support, obviously. You know, let's turn bearish when we lose supports and we start looking for shorts. So just like you're saying on like ADA, for example, if we lose that trend, this is AVAX. If we lose that trend, then we become bearish. Then we can open up shorts going down. But for now, I mean, for me, I'm looking for support buys again to take advantage of any bounces in the market. So, you know, here's AVAX again, sitting on this critical support area. Can you get a tighter stop for a long? I don't think so. You know, this is a tight entry. If we are wrong, you know, we're going to lose that area on a tight stop. And then we know our next buy zone is 12.3 for AVAX. It's very clear to me, you know.
No, it is. And I think the big thing to understand about that, and why people need to, can you hear me? And why people need to take it so important is because it may even be a bigger pullback than that. I know we bull, but at any moment, like, we don't know how big that Bart Simpson can be. Like it could go back to lows. Like, that's why we just got to be very certain that this is the time. It is a little bit uncomfortable. I do agree. But again, don't be afraid to put those stops in. And like I say, go 50-50, because if you're 50-50 right now, even with your portfolio, if you want to go 50% of your portfolio on stop losses right now, cool. Like, at least you prep for either way. Or either way, Bitcoin shits the bed and has a huge dump. You have money to buy the dip because you put half your money on stop losses. Or
never
it comes crazy and you can add in. Like, never. Like, always just be prepared on both. So some of your portfolio put on stop losses today, and some of it let it ride it through. Like, no problem. You prep for either way.
Look, on support, you're cautiously bullish and play it that way. So don't put everything you got on one buy. You know, you're often going to get opportunities lower down. So yeah, I mean, there's tons of alts we can go through, but you know, basically the same principle of what you're saying. We're on support areas still, so nothing to be bearish about. Like, this is Lido as an example. You know, we could easily come down here on the 786 still today, and kick on from here. You know, if we lose this trend, then we start looking at sort of negative options. And
it sucks, bro. The alts have been so bullish. And it's just Bitcoin we're worried about, bro. It's like Bitcoin, dude. You've been so powerful this whole year, and now that's the only reason we're worried about alts right now. Like, alts look fired up. Like, they look strong as hell. They probably look stronger than what they've been in the last few months.
To be fair, they are popping off. Yeah,
they are.
But to be fair, like they're popping. You know, it's not like we're not enjoying this market. It's not like we're not making money out of it. Obviously, we want to make more, and we want this thing to really kick on. But
no, we want bull run, bro. We want 1000x.
We want the fire. We want the fire. I mean, here's another scenario. Curve. Fundamentally, I don't know much about Curve, but you know, it's always been fun to trade. 618 sitting here, trend. You know, is it a buy for me? Yes. If I'm assuming BTC is going to bounce here, this is a buy for Curve. If BTC is going to lose this area, then we know Curve is going to lose the trend, and we're going to make our way lower down. So yeah, I mean, you're playing this perfectly. The same as SOL, like you said earlier. This is a support buy. If things turn sour,
it was down there. Exactly.
Fuck, bro. We know we're coming to 20. I mean, it's pretty clear. So we just got to play it step by step, guys. Here's Link, as you know. There's no buys here on Link. You know, this thing popped yesterday. It was great. Waiting for a pullback, or let this flag develop, like you're saying.
And get the break out of the flag. Yeah, bro. I think we just got to leave it for the weekend. I think we just got to. Oh, you got 𝗬𝗿𝗄𝗏. Go for it.
Yeah, it looks same story. 200-day MA. It's sitting on support. Like I can't be.
That's the thing. So, you know, dude, you know, it comes back down to we've been giving levels on all these alts. So I'll be prepping all the levels on the charts and getting ready. The only thing that came up today is a slight concern of Bitcoin having a little bit of the sell pressure right now. And why is it having a sell pressure at support? We don't like that there's sell pressure at support. That's one thing to be concerned of. And there may be a play of a $27,000 retest at any moment. And if that happens, have your stops nice and tight. Like I say, I'd have a good percentage of my portfolio on stop losses and some of it on not. And worst scenario is the dip happens, the big dip happens, and you got money to buy back cheaper. Best scenario, market pumps from here and you're in everything. And I think that's the way to be playing. But just be aware. I want to make sure that I'm giving both sides. I am very bullish, and I'll continue to be very bullish. But I am going to give you guys bearish sides too. And therefore, that's why the 𝗬𝗏's there today, just to make sure that you always think of both sides and that you guys are not surprised if anything happens. Because if a dump happens on Monday, guys, if a dump happens and on Monday the market's 33% down, I want to come in and I want to see this chat happy. I want to see everyone, woohoo! We get to buy back cheaper. Like, that's what I want to see. Not, Sheldon, come on, but we said this thing was going to go up now. Now it's down. No. Hey, Dol, we want everyone to come in, and there's a huge dip. We are happy, bro. We're like, woo!
We've covered both scenarios, bro. Both scenarios are covered. Why is my camera so blurry here? What's going on?
I don't know. But Dol, have a lekker weekend, my brother.
Okay, bro. See you
later. Much love. Thank you. Guys, follow Dol, the Lord of Entry on Twitter. Have a fantastic Friday. Happy Friday. Maybe smoke a joint, have some fun, have a glass of wine. Just enjoy life. The market will continue, and we'll be back on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. Much love, Ants fan.